Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 4:30.
Now at 4:30, a city in grieving. What evidence authorities in Louisiana are looking for after a mass shooting kills 8 children. Plus, stepping up, how a display of shoes is helping to address a greater cause. And hitting it out of the park, Husker softball is climbing the ranks. Hear how this season is shaping up to be one of the most memorable yet. And that's where we begin. The Husker softball team rising to the top after domination on the field. Happy Monday, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Mackenzie Johnson. Nebraska is now #1, and their hot streak is something everyone in the softball world is taking notice of. Here's our sports director, Nate Johnson. Now, Nate, what a season so far.
Yeah, hey, thank you, Mackenzie. Well, what a weekend for Nebraska softball and baseball. Both teams winning in sweeping fashion. As for the softball team, though, they have now won 11 straight games with a rivalry series on deck for this weekend here in Lincoln versus Iowa. Before that, though, the Huskers will head to Omaha to face UNO. Nebraska has been on a tear this season with a record of 36-6. Their last loss came to then number 7 UCLA back in late March. The pitching has been elite. The offense just as good, and the Huskers are hoping to keep that momentum going into the final 7 games of the regular season. Now, here's a look at the complete Softball America poll. Nebraska, of course, in at #1. Oklahoma is there at #2. UCLA sits at #5. Oregon and Washington are the other 2 Big Ten teams in the top 25 at 15 and 23. And I'm curious to see where ESPN and USA Softball rank the Huskers in their upcoming poll. Now, last week, Nebraska came in at #4. We'll see if that upward trend continues for Big Red. We'll have more baseball and softball talk coming your way in the Sports Zone. We'll see you there. For now, Mackenzie will send things back over to you.
Definitely some exciting stuff. Thank you, Nate. Well, what a warm day. Let's check in now with our meteorologist, Rusty Dawkins, for our first forecast. Rusty?
Well, I was adjusting my microphone. We've got mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. Really a nice day today. A little breezy, but very mild. I'm going to zoom way out and show you that there's not a whole lot going on for the Midwest, Central Plains, really anybody. You got to go all the way down here towards the Four Corners area for anything. Kind of a neat little cloud cover right there. I mean, there's nothing out there. It's just really that quiet where I have to zoom all the way out, and I am still trying to figure out things to talk about. So let's do this. This is a really cool shot, isn't it? 27th and Yankee Hill Road, Honda of Lincoln, flag flying and the sun right behind it. That's pretty cool. 82 degrees with wind out of the south at 20 miles per hour, gusting to 28. So that explains that. Here's your wind. It's out of the south, 25, 30, gusting to around 40 miles per hour. We have temperatures in the 80s for almost everybody except for Omaha. At 78 degrees, 77 in Columbus, but everybody else a lot warmer than that. So tonight, temperatures eventually falling into the 50s, and that wind up there a little bit as we head through tonight. We'll have the rest of your week forecast in a couple of minutes.
All right, thanks, Rusty. Let's take a live look now at the streets here in the capital city. This is the intersection of 27th and Old Cheney Road. Looks like everybody's moving along pretty smoothly. Not a whole lot of backups at all if you're heading home from work. Well, breaking now, details emerge from the disturbing crime scenes in a Louisiana mass shooting that killed 8 children. ABC's Armando Garcia reports.
A city rattled by the country's latest mass shooting.
Father God, I ask you to bring families together right now.
Shreveport police say 31-year-old Shamar Elkins shot and killed 8 children, including 7 of his own, in a domestic violence incident that spanned across 2 neighboring residences and a 3rd nearby home.
The suspect shot the mother of the children first, then responded to this location and shot 8 children, 7 of which being his own.
Police calling the crime scenes gruesome. The victims, 3 boys and 5 girls, all between the ages of 3 and 11 years old.
This is a tragedy. This is heartbreaking.
The mother and another woman who were also shot now fighting for their lives. Investigators say another child was injured jumping off the roof trying to get away. Authorities say officers fatally shot Elkins after he led them on a police chase.
There are still bits and pieces coming in to put this bizarre puzzle together.
House Speaker Mike Johnson, who represents the district where the shooting happened, offering his prayers in a post on social media. And the community now rallying around the family and lighting candles for the 8 lives lost.
To learn later that I knew one of the children, it really took a toll on me, and I really hate that for the mama period and those children.
An Army official telling ABC News that Shamar Elkins had served in the Louisiana Army National Guard for 7 years, left the Army as a private in 2020, and had not been deployed. Armando Garcia, ABC News, New York.
New details on a crash between a train and a car in Dodge County. Authorities say a vehicle crashed into a train outside of Nickerson, causing many of the rail cars to come off the tracks. Deputies then say they found a car on fire when they got to the scene. Authorities say the driver, Jonathan Rains, is now at a hospital in Omaha in critical condition. The train company, Burlington North, is doing repairs to the damaged tracks on Highway 91. And also new details for a crash off of 84th and Pioneers. Take a look here at all the damage left behind. This rollover crash, the entire front and left side of the car is crushed in this one. LPD says one person was taken to the hospital. Another vehicle stalled nearby, causing further delay for drivers. Police are investigating what exactly caused the crash. New tonight, Governor Pillen hosting a brand new briefing designed to bring Nebraskans' problems to the table.
Good afternoon. I'm Emma Norwood. Today, the governor hosting the first ever roundtable briefing accompanied by members of his cabinet as well as the lieutenant governor. Now, this roundtable was intended to highlight the achievements from the current as well as past legislative sessions. Coming up tonight at 5 and 6 o'clock, I'm breaking down all of the work that the members of the cabinet as well as the governor have done to focus on property taxes, educational opportunities, Medicaid, and things that are heavy on the minds of many Nebraskans.
New details now on businesses that paid illegal tariffs. They can now start applying for refunds. Billions of dollars will be returned to businesses across the nation after February's Supreme Court ruling, making many of President Donald Trump's tariffs illegal. This marks the first phase of the reimbursement process. Companies who want to get a reimbursement have to submit a CAPE declaration to be considered for that refund. This first phase is limited to certain companies, but there is potential for customers to be included in the process moving forward. New at 4:30, local advocates are trying to help others understand the sad truth of child abuse. Take a look here. The court-appointed special advocates in southeast Nebraska are displaying these shoes here to raise awareness during Child Abuse Prevention Month. There's 188 pairs here in this video. They represent all of the calls to the child abuse hotline just in Saline County in 2024. They're asking people to call the hotline you can see there on your screen if you suspect or see child negligence. Well, we're working on more stories for you, including when we return, price drop, how much relief you could be seeing the next time you fill up on gas. Stick with us. And coming up at 5, memorable mural, how locals are bringing back a piece of Lincoln history. And the war in Iran hangs in the balance. The deadline is now just 2 days away. Meanwhile, questions are circulating around whether Iran will attend a second round of peace talks in Pakistan. ABC's Christian Cordero reports.
Today, 2 U.S. officials tell ABC News Vice President J.D. Vance is expected to travel to Pakistan tomorrow for another round of negotiations with Iran, though right now it's unclear if Iran will actually be at the table. Just today, Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson said it has no plans to attend the potential negotiations, adding no final decision has been made. President Trump has threatened to escalate attacks on Iran's energy and transportation infrastructure if a deal is not made to end the war, prompting concerns from experts and some Democrats that doing so would violate international law. Iran, meanwhile, accuses the administration of already escalating, claiming the U.S. violated the ceasefire when it captured an Iranian cargo ship near the Strait of Hormuz this weekend, calling it piracy. Iran vows to respond as it tries to maintain control of the strait, where a fifth of the world's oil supply passes through. The ceasefire has allowed very few ships to navigate the strait, and every attempt to fully reopen it has been short-lived, impacting gas prices worldwide.
We briefly saw the national average below the $4 mark over the course of the weekend, but a lot of states likely to start seeing prices again climb here early this week, that due to oil's jump today.
The last round of negotiations fell apart with the U.S. asking Iran to pause its uranium enrichment for 20 years, according to a source familiar with those talks, adding Iran only agreed to do so for 5 years. Christian Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Developing now, gas prices could finally be trending downward, including right here in Nebraska.
For Channel 8 News, I'm Andrew Ward. Some relief at the pump is coming for all Americans, including here in Nebraska. Gas Buddy's latest report says prices are down nearly 5 cents a gallon in Lincoln over the last week. Many people trying to capitalize by rushing to the pump. Citizen journalist Lorraine showing us a long line here at a local Sam's Club. Most places, though, are showing about $3.59 a gallon across town, which is really close to Gas Buddy's reported average of $3.61 in Lincoln. Across the country, prices dropping in 48 states over the past week. According to Gas Buddy, the national average is now below $4 a gallon for the first time in weeks. However, if you want prices back to what they were before the war, under $3 a gallon, Energy Secretary Chris Wright says that may not happen until next year.
Happening tonight, the Nebraska Department of Ag is hosting a wildfire recovery meeting. The in-person meeting will be held at Hyannis Public Schools out in western Nebraska. There will be presentations by Nebraska Extension and USDA Farm Service Agency. And now they're going to be covering some specific topics for people who were impacted by the wildfires over this past month or so in Nebraska, including range and pasture restoration. And they're also going to be giving some resources for people whose land was impacted by the wildfires. That meeting is starting here soon in about 15 minutes at 5 o'clock, and they'll have a meal afterwards. New at 4:30, a key piece of Pius X athletics is being honored. Take a look here. Jim Hansen is the offensive line coach for the Pius football team, and he's been coaching there for 40 years now, helping lead the team to 4 state titles. This September, he will reach another incredible milestone of 400 games coached. For all of his hard work, he was awarded the Nebraska High School Broyles Award. Congrats to Hansen for all of his work. Well, a lot warmer today than it was this weekend, especially on Saturday. Let's check in now with Rusty to see if the warm-up will keep going. Rusty, what do you think?
Yes. In fact, I think it'll get warmer before it gets cooler, but it is going to get cooler. There's some chilly, well, I don't want to say chilly, but much cooler temperatures on the horizon. Busy intersection here. ABC Seamless. Just watching this, there's a couple of people trying to cross the street here, which is just scary because this is a really busy intersection and people are trying to cross it on foot. So hopefully that doesn't happen too much more. But train in the background, cars all over the place, construction going on. Good old ABC Seamless Cam. Precipitation still below average. It'll be a while, I think, before we can finally get these numbers on the positive side of things. But we should be at 3 inches. We should be at 4.6. We're almost at 3, so we're about 1.5 inches behind, at least in Lincoln. Temperatures over the last 24 hours are cooler, but yesterday was a nice day. I mean, it really was. middle and upper 60s. We got to 70 yesterday afternoon. Today got into the 80s. That's after dipping down into the lower 40s earlier this morning. Spent most of the afternoon in the 70s, and now we've topped out around 82. We'll probably stay there for a couple of more hours too. In fact, we'll probably be around 83 by 6 p.m. 70s through 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and then back down into the 60s as we head past midnight. Noticed that means it's going to be on the windy side for tonight. Tomorrow, a little bit better as far as the wind is concerned. But outside right now, not a whole lot going on. Just a swoop of clouds here, a swoop of clouds here. Otherwise, mostly clear skies. Not much going on. So partly to mostly cloudy skies for us. Some sunshine. Unfortunately, no precipitation. We certainly need that. Stormcast as we head through tonight. Partly cloudy skies by 7 a.m. You're looking at temperatures in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Maybe a little chilly towards North Platte, Ogallala, Scottsbluff, Chadron, some temperatures in the 30s. And then we'll start to warm back up. I think we'll be in the middle 70s by noon. And by tomorrow afternoon, we're looking at the middle and upper 80s as we head through the afternoon and into the early evening hours. That's not in place. I think that was from last week. Temperatures tonight in the 50s, 40s off to the west. Look how close we get to 90 degrees tomorrow afternoon. Upper 80s to around 90, possibly 90 in Grand Island, North Platte, 92 in McCook. So it is going to be a warm Tuesday. Everybody in the upper 80s to around 90 degrees. Then we slowly start to cool off. The rest of that forecast in a few.
All right, thanks, Rusty. Let's take another live look at the traffic here in Lincoln now. This is over on 48th and Adams. Looks like everyone's moving through there pretty quickly. Doesn't look like there's anything holding anybody up right now, at least from what we can see here. It looks like everyone's stopping as needed at all of the stoplights. So if you're heading on home from work in this area, you're not going to really head into any sort of speed bumps on your way. Time now for a look at what's trending on our website, klkntv.com. Here's Channel 8's Mark Fisher.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Mark Fisher, and we're back with another segment of what's trending on klkntv.com. First up, what started as a routine rescue quickly turned into a multi-state mission. Epona Horse Rescue took in Rango at an auction on April 11th. Rango needed a lot of loving care and a second chance. Lynn Guyton, the director of Epona, posted Rango on social media, introducing him to the Creek community and reconnecting him with his past. Rango's original owners, the Filippi family, were shocked to see that Rango was living in Nebraska. From there, coordination began, spanning state lines and involving multiple people to safely return Rango to his family. The two people who used to volunteer at Epona offered to take the horse back to Minnesota. The Filippi family had been looking for Rango since 2022. Also getting clicks, a local nonprofit stepped up on Saturday to make sure no mom goes without. For many moms, something as simple as a clean diaper can be a daily stress. That's where Baby and Me comes in, teaming up with two other organizations to provide critical supplies to families who need a little extra support. Ashley Tobias with T-Square Movers and Ashley Milner with Remax Concepts are working with the nonprofit to bring mothers a sign of relief. All three women gathered near 70th and Pioneers Boulevard to stuff a truckload of 1,000 boxes of diapers and wipes. Beyond helping mothers, the fundraiser also proved to be a way to shine a light on those offering that help across Lincoln. You can read about these stories and much more on our website at klkntv.com, but for now, we'll be back right here tomorrow with more trending stories.
Well, there's plenty of news to come after the break, including Diamond Dilemma, what ongoing issue the Pope is trying to solve in Africa through his words. And all new at 5, giving guidance, how the city of Lincoln is helping small businesses here in our area who could get a reimbursement from sweeping tariff policies. We'll be right back. Details on Pope Leo and his travels through Africa. The pontiff is making his way through the southwest nation of Angola. He's speaking to the people and working with government officials on the diamond mining exploitation problem. Here's ABC's Melissa Adon.
It is day 8 on Pope Leo's historic papal trip through Africa. We are here in Saurimo, Angola. This is where tens of thousands of faithfuls have come out as Pope Leo celebrates Mass here today. It is here in this region of Angola that they're dealing with a diamond mining issue because of the exploitation the region faces. This is something Pope Leo is expected to address. And while Pope Leo also discussing today in his homily, sharing how he can see how many people are frustrated by violence and exploited by the powerful, but he calls on to Christ to renew and lift their spirits. Well, the pontiff visiting also the elderly today and wrapping his day meeting with Angola Catholic leaders. All of this comes after over the weekend the American Pope called the 10-day ceasefire in Lebanon a sign of hope. And on Saturday, he addressed us reporters on the papal plane saying he is not interested in debating President Trump.
There's been a certain narrative. It was looked at as if I was trying to debate, again, the president, which is not my interest at all.
Now, Pope Leo wraps his trip in Angola tomorrow, and then we head to Equatorial Guinea. That will be the final stop in his 11-day papal trip throughout Africa. Tomorrow, we're hoping to see if we will hear once again from Pope Leo while on the papal plane. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Angola.
All right, let's get one final check of the weather and traffic. Rusty, take it away. What do you think we need to know?
It's windy out there. You know how I can tell? Look at this. They're just blowing. It's a cool shot, but that means it's really windy out there. So high-profile vehicles, not going to name any names, but someone like that, I mean, it's not that bad, but it's something that you got to hang on to the wheel. That's all I'm saying. So really windy out there. And really warm. We've got temperatures that are in the 70s and 80s that will eventually fall into the 30s, 40s, and 50s by tomorrow morning, and then bumping right back up into the middle and upper 80s by tomorrow afternoon. Likely going to see a few 90s out there. I think McCook probably has a decent chance, Grand Island, North Platte, maybe even Lincoln. I'm saying 88 for the high in Lincoln, but it wouldn't surprise me if we tack on a couple of more degrees. And then temperatures eventually dropping back into the 50s by early Wednesday morning. Not quite as warm, but still in the 80s for everybody Wednesday afternoon. Maybe even a little warmer towards the west and southwest, as is usually the case. So it is going to be warm. Stormcast, though, doesn't have much of anything as we head through tonight, head through Tuesday morning. By noon on Tuesday, lots and lots of sunshine. A couple of showers try to pop up, but I don't think that's actually going to be a problem. So we do have a decent chance for precipitation as we head through Wednesday for western Nebraska and eastern Nebraska on Thursday. That's something we'll talk about coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Rusty. Let's take one last look here at Lincoln Roads. Honestly, that this turning lanes look like they're pretty packed. So maybe if you're in the area of 40th and Parkway, Nebraska Parkway, you might have a little bit of a backup. But that's going to do it for 4:30. We'll see you back here in just a few minutes.
Upgrading your facility's lighting? Wolf Electric delivers. Nebraska's trusted news source. This is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight, two towns in mourning.
Cooper Road, Allendale, Lakeside, all communities, all neighborhoods should feel the tragedy of today.
What we're learning about the shooter in Louisiana and how a fight in North Carolina escalated to several deaths. Also tonight, reveling at the round table, Governor Jim Pillen and his team sit down for a new kind of conference, what they're touting as their greatest achievements. And number one, Nebraska. The Husker softball team with a major accomplishment, what the moment means to the team, and mural revival. The Pershing mural finds a new home, how the project aims to impact the community. And that's where we begin tonight. Right now, a Lincoln landmark is making its long-awaited return. Hundreds of thousands of tiles were part of the Pershing Center mural that was a staple of Lincoln for decades. Today, they're officially being placed back together as they get a new life in a new location. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us on this Monday night. I'm Rod Fowler. Good to have you with us. The beloved Pershing mural is being rebuilt in a new home after more than 3 years, this marking a milestone that many have been looking forward to. Channel 8's Mackenzie Johnson joins us now with the historic moment. Mackenzie?
Rod, the first of many tiles is now laid as the Pershing mural is slowly brought back to its former glory. Cheers echoing in Wyuka Park, celebrating the work it took to get to this point. Take a look. The iconic Pershing mural was taken down before the auditorium was demolished years ago, but the Nebraska State Historical Society Foundation has been storing, cleaning, and restoring the tiles, and soon the mural will be up for display once again.
To say this has been a Herculean journey, that means huge with a capital H, is an understatement. This is going to draw thousands of people from all over the world, we feel, to Wyuka Park to see this enormous mural that was saved by dedicated, committed Nebraskans.
Today was more symbolic as they put up the first few tiles, but the real work starts tomorrow with more than 760,000 tiles that need to be put up. Here's what the finished product is going to be looking like. Tonight at 10, we'll tell you what it cost to do this project and all the steps taken to make the mural even better than before. Reporting in the studio, Mackenzie Johnson, Channel 8 News.
All right, thank you, Mackenzie. New details now on a pair of burglaries happening right here in Lincoln last week. Police say the suspect, who they think hit both businesses early Wednesday morning, took nearly $5,000 in total merchandise from the two. $940 worth of goods from Romantics on South 9th Street early Wednesday morning. And a short time after that, Capital City Sports Cards lost close to $4,000 from stolen Pokemon cards. One of our surveillance cameras capturing this video that night. You can see here the suspect roaming the area around Romantics that early morning. Lincoln Police describes the suspect as a man wearing a tan Carhartt-style coat, a black mask, and a black bag. If you have any information, be sure to call Lincoln Police or Crime Stoppers. And some new details on a messy rollover crash near 84th and Pioneers this morning. Take a look at the damage to that vehicle right there. Police say one person was taken to the hospital. There was another stalled vehicle nearby, causing further delay for drivers. Police are still investigating what exactly caused the crash. We'll move over to number one. Nebraska softball is here. The Huskers have jumped all the way to the top spot in the latest Softball America poll. Nebraska has been on fire, not losing a single game this month. For the latest on our Nebraska softball team, let's check in with Channel 8 Sports Director Nate Johnson. He joins us live here in the studio. Nate.
Yeah, hey, thank you, Rod. Well, what a weekend for Nebraska baseball and softball. Both teams winning in sweeping fashion. As for the softball team, though, they have now won 11 straight games with a rivalry series on deck this weekend here in Lincoln versus Iowa. Before that, though, the Huskers will head to Omaha to face UNO. Nebraska has been on a tear this season with a record of 36-6. Their last loss came to then number 7 UCLA back in late March. The pitching has been elite, the offense just as good, and the Huskers are hoping to keep that momentum going into the final 7 games of the regular season. Now here's a look at the complete Softball America poll. Nebraska, of course, in at number 1. Oklahoma, they're at 2. UCLA sits at number 5. Oregon and Washington are the other two teams in the Big Ten in the top 25 at 15 and 23. And I'm curious to see where ESPN and USA Softball will rank the Huskers in their upcoming poll. Last week, Nebraska came in at number 4. We'll see if that upward trend continues for Big Red. We'll have more baseball and softball talk coming your way in the Sports Zone. We'll see you there. For now, the Ride will send things back over to you.
Thank you, Nate. Let's get a look at your first forecast for this Monday evening. Taking a live look over Lincoln from our tower cam here at the station. A warm one to start off the work week, and it sounds like even warmer tomorrow. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins. Not only warm, Rusty, but dry, too.
Yeah, and I can't stop thinking about Nebraska softball being number 1. They've always been number 1 in my heart.
Oh,
I know.
Isn't that great, though? Yeah.
The number 1, that's cool.
That's awesome.
I know. This is not cool. It's actually pretty warm outside. We have mostly clear skies for southeast Nebraska, a few clouds off to the west. Look at that sunshine in Beatrice. Slow down. Slow down. Easy, easy. Okay, 6th and Perkins. Shones Roofing showing a speeding vehicle going by. 83 degrees. Look at the gusts, though. 29 miles per hour with a sustained wind out of the south at 18 miles per hour. He's going slow. Well done, sir. Or madam. Satellite radar looking at just a few clouds here and there. Temperature wise, middle 80s, 85 in Lincoln, 84 in Grand Island, 87s in Holdridge and McCook. We've got a south wind at 10 to 20, gusting to around 30 miles per hour. Temperature wise, we will fall slowly but surely into the middle 50s as we head through tomorrow morning, and that wind will likely stay up there a little bit, 20 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts overnight. Temperatures are going to be way up and then kind of way down as we head towards the weekend. More on that in a few.
All right, thank you, Rusty. Breaking now, a news conference held in Shreveport following the deadliest mass shooting in the U.S. in more than 2 years. Authorities there are releasing more information on this tragic event that left 8 children dead, 7 of them being the shooter's own children. Channel 8's Meg West joins us in the newsroom now with what new information police are giving to the public and how the community is attempting to move forward. Meg?
Good evening, Rod. We now know the names of the 8 children killed by their father, along with the names of the 2 women he critically injured. The ages of those children ranging from 3 to 11 years old. Police say 31-year-old Shamar Elkins shot his wife, then went to another home and shot his 7 children, a cousin, and a second woman. A 13-year-old boy jumped from the roof, escaping with broken bones, but is expected to recover. Police say after the shooting, Elkins took them on a chase in a stolen car where he was killed by officers. Authorities calling the incident domestic in nature. This coming just days after the Caddo Sheriff's Office opened a domestic violence unit.
I don't believe any of us could have imagined that only days later our community would be shaken by the most heartbreaking tragedies that we have ever witnessed.
And in another shooting in North Carolina this time, at least 2 people are dead after a shooting in the Winston-Salem area. Police say the incident began as a planned fight between 2 young people that escalated into shots fired. Investigators working to get a clear understanding of what went down.
During the fight, firearm was discharged, which resulted in multiple victims being shot. As far as suspects and victims, we have identified numerous people involved with this investigation. However, we are still determining their exact involvement, whether they're suspect, victim, or witness.
Police say the shooting happened this morning in a park located near Jefferson Middle School, and some of those involved were juveniles. Law enforcement and neighbors in both different shooting incidents asking for prayers for those involved. In the newsroom, Meg West, Channel 8 News.
All right, thank you, Meg. The ceasefire in the war in Iran is getting tested as its deadline date is coming up on Wednesday. Both the U.S. and Iran have opened fire on ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Both nations are saying the actions of the other are ceasefire violations. 2 U.S. officials are now saying J.D. Vance is expected to travel back to Pakistan for peace talks tomorrow. But it's unclear if Iran will actually be there because of the U.S. Navy's blockade in the Strait. All of this uncertainty and oil prices rising is leaving people wondering when gas prices will actually go back down.
We briefly saw the national average below the $4 mark over the course of the weekend, but a lot of states likely to start seeing prices again climb here early this week. That due to oil's jump today.
Strait of Hormuz is not fully open. Oil prices will not be able to fall to where they were at the beginning of the ceasefire, let alone before the conflict began. And speaking of that, today, crude oil prices are seeing a large jump with the new tensions in Iran. They were up more than 5% at around $89 a barrel today. We were looking at $82 a barrel on Saturday. And citizen journalists are sending us gas price updates to our Now Local News app, as you can see in these videos here. We're not seeing really any prices go down, $3.57 and $3.59 a gallon at these two gas stations here in Lincoln. Well, don't go anywhere. We have more headed your way after the break, and even more at 6 o'clock, including Union Overhaul. The Nebraska Union is expanding its space. What new additions are coming for UNL students? And coming up here at 5 o'clock after the break, Pillen's praises what the governor and his team said their greatest accomplishments are and what they're focusing on improving. Stay with us. We'll be right back. If you're now just joining us, we need to catch you up on some breaking news. A mass shooting in Salem, North Carolina leaves 2 people dead, several people injured. Officials are saying a planned fight between 2 juveniles in a park escalated to the mass shooting. Authorities are now trying to determine whether those involved are suspects, victims, or witnesses. And in Shreveport, Louisiana, authorities confirm Shamar Elkins is responsible for the deadliest mass shooting in the U.S. in more than 2 years. He fatally shot 8 children. 7 of them were his own. Officials believe this stemmed from a domestic dispute. Elkins was eventually shot and killed by police. All right, back here at home now. New tonight, Governor Pillen hosting his first ever roundtable. Cabinet members coming together to highlight their greatest accomplishments in the current and past legislative sessions. Channel 8's Emma Norwood was there today. She's here to break down how each topic of conversation is affecting Nebraskans. Emma.
Yes, hi, good evening, Rod. Today's roundtable celebrating the work each and every cabinet member has done to better the lives of Nebraskans. And the biggest takeaways from the meeting include property taxes, unemployment, and agriculture.
We are pleased with our progress, but certainly not satisfied. We continue to have a lot of work to do.
Governor Jim Pillen hosting the first ever roundtable briefing with members of his cabinet on Monday. The meeting highlighting the work being done during the current and past legislative sessions. Each cabinet member speaking out about their accomplishments that they say are helping to ease the minds of many.
Nebraska's unemployment rate is 3%. It's the 6th lowest in the nation and has remained unchanged in recent months. The national unemployment rate is 4.3%. Meanwhile, our employment has gone up. We have record high employment levels in Nebraska, currently sitting at 1,104,402 people employed. That's over an increase of over 13,000 from this time last year.
A topic that's been long talked about, property taxes. The Department of Administrative Services Budget Division's director addressing how they have worked to help lower those taxes and help homeowners.
We have the highest credit rating we've ever had, AAA, as the governor mentioned, and we're set to deliver over $3.6 billion in property tax relief this biennium, and drop the income tax rate down to 3.99% come January.
Several cabinet members praising the help everyone rushed to give to those affected by the wildfires. The Department of Agriculture successfully protecting farmers across the state, saying they're putting Nebraska at the forefront.
I want to talk about the Ag Data Privacy Bill. This is groundbreaking. It's a first in the nation. And what this does is it's going to put our farmers in charge of who and when they share their data. It's going to keep that value at the farm gate. And this is very, very important for our farmers.
And the Department of Correctional Services director touching on another highly controversial point, saying the McCook Federal Detention Facility is helping the state financially and overcrowding in those prisons is no longer an issue. Reporting here in the studio, Emma Norwood, Channel 8 News.
All right, thank you, Emma. Over in York County, an incident of road rage leads to an arrest. Deputies say the man you're seeing on your screen, truck driver Ramel McLaughlin, pointed a firearm at a man's child on I-80 as they were driving near each other. Deputies pulled his truck over and took McLaughlin into custody without incident. They say they found a loaded gun in his truck during their search. Also new tonight, making a statement in Saline County, leaders there saying every one of these pairs of shoes you see here on these steps is a story that deserves attention. Southeast Nebraska court-appointed special advocates are showing these to raise awareness during Child Abuse Prevention Month. There's 188 pairs of shoes here. They represent the 188 calls to the Child Abuse Hotline in Saline County in 2024. 188 times someone decided not to stay silent. They're asking people to call the hotline you see on your screen if you suspect child abuse or neglect.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
A little bit of cloud cover out there, but very mild. A little shake and shimmy to the camera, too. The wind, not terrible, but it's still noticeable. Very log cam looking towards downtown Lincoln. It's 85 at the airport. Here at the studio, we're at about 81. It says the north wind at 8 miles per hour. I think it's a little bit higher than that. Mostly sunny skies. We have middle and upper 80s. Very close to 90 in some spots. We've got 87 in Holdridge, McCook, North Platte, all at 87 degrees, 85 in Lincoln, 83 in Beatrice, a little cooler in Omaha at 80, and a little warmer in York, Aurora, and Kearney, all at 86 degrees. It's almost 20 degrees warmer than it was yesterday at this time, and yesterday was a nice day. So today a little bit warmer, kind of depends if you're out in the sun and out of the wind, it's probably a little hot, but if you're in the shade and in the wind, a little cool. Really depends on where you're at today. South wind, 10, 20. Yeah, I think that saying out of the north at 8 was a little off. This one's correct. Out of the southwest at around 18 miles per hour in Lincoln, 25 miles per hour in Beatrice. So a little bit of wind. Again, we've seen a lot worse. The wind gusts are closer to 30 miles per hour. Plenty of sunshine here in southeast Nebraska, some thin clouds in central Nebraska, and then a few more clouds off to the west. A little bit to talk about. Not tonight, not Tuesday, but as we get into Wednesday. So we'll kind of fly through this first, a few clouds here and there by early Tuesday morning, mostly sunny skies for Tuesday morning into the afternoon, maybe a couple of clouds. Then comes a chance for precipitation off to the west. We have to wait. Here's Wednesday morning, a few clouds off to the south and east. There might even be a little patchy fog, but this is what I'm trying to get to here. This is Wednesday afternoon into the evening hours. There's a line right here where we may see a few isolated strong storms from about McCook to North Platte to Valentine, a very narrow corridor just because of the timing. And then as soon as we get closer to sunset, strong storms here eventually just fade away as soon as the sun goes down. So just a narrow area here of a level 1 marginal risk, 1 or 2 severe storms possible in that area. Fast forward to Thursday afternoon. Don't mind the snow well off to the north and west, but we may see some storms in this area right here. Some of this could be on the strong to severe side Thursday afternoon into the early evening hours. It starts over the top of us and eventually moves east. This is the better chance for severe weather from Wichita to Kansas City to Des Moines and up towards Minneapolis by Thursday evening. So because of that, we are again on the edge here of a possible severe weather potential. And notice we're just right on that line from Omaha to Lincoln to Beatrice. It reminds me of how things were late last week where it tried to start over the top of us, but the better chance was further east. So we'll keep an eye on that. Temperatures tonight in the middle 50s, highs tomorrow, a lot of upper 80s, maybe even some lower 90s, a warm, kind of breezy, but not humid kind of day. 7-day forecast, 88 and then 84 for Earth Day. That's a nice Earth Day right there. A storm possible on Thursday that we were just talking about. Dry for Arbor Day, but cooler. That cold front will knock us back into the 60s. In fact, the lower 60s, just small chances for rain here Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. But on the chilly side with those high temperatures in the lower 60s, then we get a little more sunshine Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week with those highs in the middle and upper 60s.
Thank you, Rusty. New tonight, the Lincoln Chamber of Commerce is weighing in on the tariff refund portal that was launched today for businesses all over the country. Chamber President Jason Ball releasing a statement today providing some guidance for all Lincoln importers with the U.S. Customs and Border Protection launching the site today. The Chamber is encouraging business owners who paid extra tariffs on imports to, quote, establish an account on the portal and to begin contact with a customs broker as soon as possible. This comes after the Supreme Court ruled in February that many of President Trump's tariffs are illegal. Well, stay with us. We have more ready for you after the break and a new batch of stories at 6 o'clock, including the bold path forward. UNL is creating a framework for their academic years to come, how the plan will guide the university towards its goals. Stay with us. It's Volunteer Appreciation Week, and we're starting off the week with Firth Rural Fire and Rescue. The volunteer firefighters there are getting a big shout out for their service to the community. The department appreciating the men and women for constantly stepping up and showing up when calls for help come in. They're asking others in the community to join the good cause as they look to grow the team. Thank goodness for volunteer firefighters and all the firefighters out there. Let's get a final check of the weather with Rusty, and warmer tomorrow, right?
Yeah, and today the climate reports were just printing off. 82 for a high so far in Lincoln today and 87 in Grand Island. And yeah, we're going to be a little bit warmer tomorrow with temperatures closer to 90, but we're at 85 right now in Lincoln. So that's the warmest of the day. 84 in Grand Island. Just about everybody in the 80s. Lows tonight, early tomorrow morning will be in the 40s and 50s, some 30s off to the west. And then here's your highs tomorrow. A touch warmer, upper 80s, lower 90s, but no humidity. So that makes it a little more tolerable as we head through Wednesday. A little bit cooler, but still in the 80s for almost everyone.
Dry heat. All right. Thank you, Rusty. Thank you for joining us. World News is next. We'll see you back here at 6.